Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Samantha and I'm going to get started. When I was offered the opportunity to speak in front of you all today, I meditated and asked what I should talk about. The answer was Valentine's Day. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a Valentine's Day person, and nevertheless the topic wouldn't let me be. I looked at the history of St. Valentine, and to my surprise, there wasn't any glorious history of the saint. In fact, there are mixed stories because Valentine, Valentinus, and Valentina were popular names back in history. And I'm going to briefly share what I found. There are two distinct Valentines that coincide with the holiday. One story goes that the Emperor of Rome, Claudius II, decided to outlaw marriages because single men didn't have to worry about wife and family to come home to. Therefore, they make better soldiers. A priest named Valentine secretly married couples as he thought this decree was unjust. When Claudius found out, he had him executed. Another story is that another man named Valentine was helping prisoners escape from Roman prisons where they were tortured. When Valentine became in prison, he fell in love with the jailer's daughter, prayed for her, and which restored her sight, and gave her a note before his death that said, "From your Valentine," which is where that phrase came from. So, Valentine's Day is a giant mystery, and yet we celebrate it in full force with hearts, cherubs, notes, cards, flowers, candies, etc. As I said, I never really cared much for the holiday. I can remember really celebrating when I was a kid, and we gave out candies and card valentines, but when you're a kid, it's all for fun. When you're an adult, the holiday could be either very wonderful or a major letdown, depending on your relationship status. It's a holiday I feel I lack to understand the true meaning of it. And then I realized the real reason I was supposed to talk about Valentine's Day is because I had to share my lesson in how to love. And that is how Valentine's Day is big. And then how Valentine's Day is more than just about romantic love. It also has a spiritual meaning behind it. I feel like the hardest part for me is expressing how I feel. I always blame my moon sign because it's a Capricorn. If you know anything about astrology, the moon sign represents your emotions and how you feel as you go through life. The sign Capricorn, considered hardworking, only feels validated and loved through accomplishments. It's a sign that someone who is usually composed in situations of stress, plays by the rules, and to a point where they take the rules so seriously, and often finds those breaking the rules irresponsible. So I do feel all the traits of the Capricorn sign strongly. I don't open up much about my feelings easily because I don't see a reason to. Unfortunately, I have limited myself in the way I express myself. In fact, the way I express how I appreciate and love someone is usually through gifts. Because of this, I rarely use the terms "I love you," and this would be a pattern throughout my younger life. When I was going through those awkward pre-teen years, during the time I was beginning to open myself up more spiritually, I dove deep in learning about all religions, mythical creatures, and nature energy. The unfortunate thing was, as I grew more interested in other religions, I pushed spirit or God off to the side. To me, God was a deity I used to know in Roman Catholic Church. What I learned there was that God was vengeful. It made me scared that I never saw God as a deity of love. At the time, I was also being bullied for my appearance, and I had been most of my younger years. The whole experience made me close and turn away from certain things. I had friends that would love to give me hugs, and I would climb up every time. I couldn't feel love. I didn't love myself, but I also didn't love God or spirit. So, how did I go about learning to love myself, others, and then learn to love God? It took many years and much understanding. There are always a little times in our lives that we get answers to our deepest questions, that we may not realize right away. The most often question is why? Why is my appearance the way it is, even though I try hard to change it? And this appearance is something that not many are attracted to. And I never had the answer to the question until much later, which I will reveal as I continue my talk. In recent years, as I learned about spirituality, I slowly understood the truth about what I was pushing away was only a branch of the greatest tree. All deities, angels, fairies, masters, dragons, etc., they are all connected. and God or Spirit is the highest being to all of that. As I meditated more often, I grew closer to God, and I also felt the love from all my guides. So as we meditate during the service, I'm always greeted by a loved one or a guide. I've seen my Native American guide, Standing Elk, or Master Asui, who is the one that mastered Reiki. And even my grandmother, who a few months before she died, reunited my grandfather that died 30 years prior. I often get the best meditations here, as we all are bringing our vibrations high. This passage describes how I felt. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. I was deep in the love of all my guides around me, and thus felt the love from the highest Spirit of God. This experience was changing my life. As I felt closer to Spirit, the love I was feeling encouraged me to love myself as they love me. I started sharing love compassionately by learning to empathize with others. Also universally by being nice to strangers. And each time I meditated, I connected closer to God. One of the shortest yet most profound statements in the Bible is revelation that God is love. This means that we only come to know what love is like when we come to know who God is. Love is an ontological referent in God, who is our creator, sustainer, and redeemer. Whatever God is, that is love. And to answer my previous question about my appearance, about why I look this way, I found out through an astrologer that we all decide through the energy of the atmosphere, the stars, what we want to be, and the lessons we want to go through before we were born. All of which can be seen through an astrological chart. I thought this was insightful and a little funny. So I chose to be born to have a Capricorn moon because I needed to go through the lesson. And now I can't blame astrology. There's a spiritual meaning behind Valentine's Day that help us understand that love isn't only for your partner or your ones closest to you. Valentine's Day carries profound themes that touch on almost every aspect of life, allowing you to explore the true meaning of love. Let's take a closer look at these themes and how that represents the spiritual meaning of Valentine's Day. I'm going to break down the different themes to understand. First, love, first and foremost, Valentine's Day is associated with love, but its spiritual meaning goes far beyond expressions. Love encompasses so much more than romantic relationships. It includes self-love, platonic love, such as friendship, and the divine love that follows through the universe. This holiday is your chance to honor the infinite ways in which love shows up in your life, from the sibling to a best friend to an intimate partner. It also encourages you to be a reflection of that love, opening your hearts to those around you, allowing your true feelings to show through words and actions. Healing, another theme, is one of the most profound themes in the spiritual meaning of Valentine's Day, is the healing power of love. Love has incredible ability to help you move past old wounds. Forgiving those who have hurt you, including yourself, opens you up to the universe's restorative energy, leaving you fresh and whole once more. Connection. This day is a perfect time to celebrate those connections that make you feel seen, valued, cherished, and naturally loved. And not with just romantic partners, with family, friends, and even yourself. Valentine's Day encourages you to strengthen these bonds, deepening your relationships through love and appreciation. On a spiritual level, the holiday serves as a reminder that love is the energy that connects us all beings, including those who have passed away or who are far away. Love is limitless. It transcends time and space. Transformation. Love is an incredible power to transform you, softening your heart, inspiring your growth, and leading exciting new beginnings. It's a force that urges you to change and evolve, whether it's in your relationships or on a deeper spiritual level. With love as your guide, you are unstoppable on your journey. Self-love. You deserve the same love as you give to others. Sharing your love with family, friends, and partners is beautiful, but the real magic begins when you show yourself the same love. Kindness and care. This Valentine's Day, honor yourself and your needs by prioritizing self-love. Remember, love begins within, and learning to love yourself is the first step towards being able to love others more deeply and fully. Gratitude. What better way to than Valentine's Day to express gratitude for the love that is present in your life. Small gestures, words straight from your heart, and meaningful gifts are all beautiful ways of letting people you love know how much they mean to you and how much you appreciate them. And remember, gratitude is universal frequency. The more thankful you are for the love in your life, the more love you will feel and receive. Reflection. Love runs deep, and Valentine's Day offers the chance to pause and reflect on what it means to you. Take time to consider relationships, not just the romantic ones, and the ways in which you can give and receive love. Is there something missing? Are you letting people know how much they mean to you? Are you creating any blocks that stop love from flowing freely to you and from you? Are your current relationships fulfilling? By giving yourself some time and introspection, you can realign your love's deeper purpose and set intentions for how you wish to continue your current connections. Joy, at its best, when it's true and pure, love brings joy. Valentine's Day is a wonderful celebration of happiness. Let the holiday inspire you to embrace love, joy, and to share it generously with others. Divine love. Love is one of the most powerful spiritual forces. It connects all beings, both those who are with you and those who have passed before. It holds a sacred place in your heart. Even when you don't immediately see it, Valentine's Day is a reminder from the universe to allow and accept this divine presence in your life. Let love play a role in your journey. I'm going to explain how I learned the 4 different types of love and how it carries me through my day today. The 4 are self-love, romantic love, compassion, and universal love. You can also see the themes that are represented as I continue. So, every day as negativity begin leaving me as I practice more self-love by taking care of myself, positive affirmation, and reflection, my thought process became also changed. An example would be money worries. When I became independent, I was always worried about having enough. Every day I fear I wouldn't be able to support myself. I didn't know at the time that I was putting it on the universe that I won't have enough. So as you constantly worry that you won't have enough, you will constantly not have enough. How I ended up changing that, I learned a great tool for self-love is gratitude. As I practiced gratitude, I became more thankful. I would say to Spirit how thankful I was for the abundance in my life. And my worries began drifting, and I began receiving more opportunities for wealth. I had just started face painting side business about a year ago. I was gaining some traction, but not more than a couple offers a year. Within a week of practicing affirmations and thanking God, I had 3 offers come to parties to face paint at different parties all in the same week. So self-love, I believe, will always be the hardest love to learn. Self-love is one of the most powerful forms of love because it lays the foundation for every relationship in your life. During the time I didn't have strong self-love for myself, I had a relationship which I thought was love, but in some ways it was toxic. I felt controlled to a certain extent, and they actually poked fun at me at my size and said they were doing that out of love. It always made me angry, and no matter how many times I'd said that, it never stopped. That relationship ended years ago. I never felt happier. As the moment of myself leaving, I yelled, "You don't accept and love yourself, therefore you will never truly love me." And I couldn't believe those words that came out of my mouth, but it was a smack in the face of truth. Truth for me, and truth for the other person. And only when I ever get very angry and someone crosses me, I spill the truth. That wasn't my truth, but theirs. But that's why we need to practice self-love, to embrace and understand our faults. And then we can attract those who are the people in our lives that have the higher vibration like yourself, who love you and all of you, for you. This brings the type of love called romantic love, which is the love we share for the special someone. So as I shed the negativity around me, I invited someone new in. As we grew closer, I found us to be compatible. We shared our love for art, enjoyed creating together. We loved watching movies, we laughed over the same things, and our values were identical. It wasn't until I had a few past life regressions I realized how many lives we had together. In one life, he saved me from a location I couldn't live in as I was slowly dying. In another, we were artists together, and I lost him as he fell to his death from a scaffold. Another, we shared the pain of never having family of our own. As romantic loves go, I found my soulmate, and we love each other again this lifetime. We uplift each other also by telling how much we love each other despite our self-love needs some work. but I'm better now than I have been. So all this rewrite of my faith and mentality, I became happier. I started enjoying hugs more. I began to spread the love, so to speak, by helping random strangers in my everyday life, celebrating compassionate love, which is the empathy and healing others type of love. And universal love was just the love for your community. So one of the 10 commandments that encourage us to love, for you have been called to live in your freedom, my brothers and sisters, but don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another. For the whole law can be summed up in this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. Galatians chapter 5, verses 13 and 14. So when it comes to compassionate love, I practice kindness, empathy, and healing. I've always felt I've been a healer in my life, and I remember my aha moment when I was in high school, or middle school. A classmate was complaining that her arm hurt in a particular spot. I put my hands on her arm and sent white light. She was surprised as her arm did feel better after that. And this sort of thing that I've seen in movies, I had no knowledge of Reiki at the time. And as I grew up, I took 3 class sessions on learning how to practice Reiki. Once I started practicing on others more, I could feel the results of the healing from them. I learned to send love energy because I want others to heal. I also call on the angels at the beginning of our church service when we hold hands to heal you all. I feel compassionate love is the strongest for myself to practice because I want others to be happy. And so my examples of spreading the universal love are: I helped an elderly wife reach for the orange juice pushed all the way in the back of the fridge when I was in the grocery store. I gave some money to a kid badly wanting a souvenir from a gift shop, donated formula to teen moms, and I try to open doors as much as I can. Every time I did small acts of service, I felt as if I could, maybe, help shed a little light on them. I help myself by feeling that good deed endorphin, make me feel like I'm that's filling an empty part of myself. And as this type of love is called universal love, it's the kind of love where we reach out to others. I feel this type of love is the one that doesn't require a lot of effort. And spiritually, love is seen as a gift, capable of healing, connecting and transforming you on the soul level. Valentine's Day, the representation of love's deeper spiritual essence, is an invitation to welcome this energy in your life. It's a season to express gratitude for all meaningful connections, practicing self-love, and recognizing the divine love that flows in all things. Whether it's active kindness, personal reflection, or heartfelt connections, Valentine's Day is your opportunity to align with love's higher purpose. As we approach the season of Valentine's Day and continue through the new year, I suggest we share the love either for ourselves, our closest loved ones, and for the community. As I found that Valentine's Day is not just about a saint, but a day to practice all types of spiritual love. Let's take this moment to appreciate the life we're given by appreciating the things we do by practicing self-love, romantic love, compassion love, and universal love. And so as we practice self-love, we are setting a foundation for the love we want to receive. Some ways to embrace self-love is by journaling self-affirmations. What do you love about yourself? What are your achievements and personal growth? You can take a few minutes of meditation by sitting in a comfortable position, visualizing your heart opening up, or green lights from your heart chakra getting bigger and bigger as love comes down from the source through your head to your heart. Using self-affirmations such as, I accept myself completely, I'm worthy of your love, I'm worthy of my love. And finally, you can practice self-love by simply pampering yourself. Take a moment out of your day to enjoy a good soak in the tub. Create a love vision board. Imagine the love you want to manifest in your life. Get a massage or do something for yourself that you've been putting off. As you treat yourself nice, you're reminded that you deserve love. And always thank God and Spirit for your blessings. To practice romantic love, give yourselves a new experience. Enjoy your favorite food or drink. See a show or play. Give gifts, or spend time at home enjoying each other's company. Sharing the love and conversations between you two only builds relationships stronger. Also, open up to those conversations that will both make you truly vulnerable with each other. Share your deepest fears, your secrets, and whatever else you haven't said to each other that you wanted to share, like faults. Instead of focusing solely on romantic gestures, try setting spiritual intentions for your relationship. This could involve creating A vision of how you want your partnerships to evolve or practice mindfulness in your interactions. Intentions such as, I will listen more deeply, or I'll show more gratitude, can strengthen your bonds. Being open and honest will bring you closer and make you love stronger. Another way we can raise our vibrations is Valentine's Day and beyond. We can practice universal love. Weird. Can you still read this all? Yeah, okay. We can practice universal love. The way we can do that is by helping others, even though it's a small act of kindness. Help someone with their groceries, pick up bits of trash and throw them out in the bin. Mother Nature needs love too. Give someone a compliment, and especially in this weather, shovel some snow for a neighbor. Connect with nature, head outside and appreciate the beauty that surrounds you. Feel your connection to the love that exists in the natural world. Valentine's Day can also be a reminder that to extend love beyond your immediate circle. Acts of kindness, volunteering, or reaching out to someone who may be lonely are all ways to celebrate universal love. When you give from a place of love, you not only uplift others, but also evaluate your own spiritual vibration. Love is a consistent theme across all faith. Biblically defined love is self-giving, sacrificial love. We all know this because of the person and personal and work of Jesus Christ and what he said to his disciples during his earthly ministry. Jesus described to his disciples the love for which is no greater love, namely the love that leads a person to lay his or her own life down for others. The love that we see in Jesus Christ who died on the cross for our sins. Thus, because God is love, and we learn from Christ that his love abounds with mercy, grace, and unfathomable forgiveness. We see a love defined from substitutionary atonement as Christ died in the place to pay for the price for our rebellion against God. God's love establishes the glory and truth that we're justified by faith alone through merits of Christ alone. God has not left the world in dark, the image of love. He has given us the world and described in chapter 1 Corinthians verse 13 the biblical character of what love is, patient and kind. Love does not envy nor boast, is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way, is irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love, it never ends. In Christian theology, love is categorized in different forms: eros, romantic love; philia, friendship; storge, familial love; and agape, selfless and unconditional love. The spiritual meaning of Valentine's Day aligns closely with agape, a love that gives without expecting anything in return. This form of love is considered divine in nature, reflecting in God's boundless compassion for humanity. Many churches observe February 14th as a day to reflect on Christ's love, like acts of charity, prayer, and community service. Some congregations hold special services or encourage its members to write letters of gratitude or reconciliation with loved ones, emphasizing forgiveness and emotional healing. These practices reinforce the idea that true love is not only felt, but demonstrated through patience, sacrifice, and presence. For believers, embracing the spiritual meaning of Valentine's Day involves moving beyond commercialized expressions, such as chocolates and roses, and engaging in meaningful gestures to uplift others. Volunteering at shelters, donating to causes, supporting marginalized communities, or simply listening deeply to someone in all needs are all ways to live out agape love on this day. And also different faiths interpret love, by extension Valentine's Day, in ways that emphasize its sacred nature. So as Christianity, as we talked about, love is central to Christ's teachings. Love is patient, kind, humble, and enduring, qualities that transcend romantic sentiment. For believers, observing Valentine's Day spiritually might involve reading scripture, attending special services, or performing acts of charity in honor of God's unconditional love. In Judaism, Tu B'Av, often called Jewish Day of Love, occurs in the summer and shares the thematic similarities with Valentine's, to celebrate matchmaking, joy, and forgiveness. Some modern Jewish practitioners incorporate the elements of Valentine's into personal reflection on covenantal love between partners, community, and God. In Buddhism and Eastern philosophies, romantic love is viewed cautiously, as it attachment can lead to suffering. However, the cultivation of metta, loving kindness, and compassion, karuna, is highly encouraged. Spiritually minded individuals may use Valentine's Day to deepen mindfulness practice and extend compassion universally. The spiritual interpretation of Valentine's Day varies widely across religion, including India, where public displays affection are traditionally reserved. Younger generations increasingly embrace Valentine's Day as a form of modern expression. At the same time, some spiritual communities counterbalance this with Matru Pitru Puha, worship of mother and father, on the same day, reframing love as value, duty, and gratitude. In Latin America, Dia del Amor y Amistad, Day of Love and Friendship, combines romantic love with deep appreciation for family and friends, reinforcing communal bonds over individual romance. In Japan, White Day follows months later, creating a repercussional rhythm of giving. Some view this exchange as a metaphor for karmic balance and mutual care. Valentine's Day could give us a moment to reflect on lost loved ones by transforming grief and loneliness into spiritual growth. For those experiencing loss, breakup, or loneliness, Valentine's Day can feel painful, but spirituality, these emotions often offer powerful opportunities for growth. Many therapists and spiritual counselors recommend using the day for grieving with dignity, visiting a loved one's grave, lighting a memorial candle, or sharing stories. Journaling about what love has taught you, even through pain. Joining group meditations or online communities focused on healing. Rather than resisting sorrow, embracing it with compassion allows transformation. As Rumi wrote, the wound is a place where light enters you. And the symbol of heart also carries a spiritual meaning. In many spiritual traditions, the heart is not merely a physical organ, but the seat of the soul, intuition, and divine connection. What does Valentine's mean spiritually, if not an annual invitation to open the heart? In Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, the heart is seen as the mirror of God, requiring constant cleansing to reflect divine light. Similar in Hindu philosophy, the Anahata heart chakra governs love, empathy, and balance between material and spiritual worlds. And also, we can use earth elements such as crystals to increase our connection with all types of love. Each of these gems hold unique properties that consist in opening our hearts, healing past wounds, and attracting the love we yearn for. Wearing them encourages the energy of the stone to resonate within you and send out energy of your desires. Rose quartz, often referred to as the stone of love. Rose quartz as a must-have for anyone seeking manifest love. Its gentle pink hue embodies the essence of unconditional love, promoting self-love, healing, and open-heartedness. It's believed to open the heart chakra, allowing us to give and receive love freely. Place this stone near your bed, or wear as a piece of jewelry to envelope yourself in this love. Amethyst. Beautiful purple stone known for calming and soothing energies. It helps clearing negative thoughts and enhancing spiritual awareness. By fostering a clearer mind and more tranquil spirit, it aids in making room for love and understanding. Moonstone. With an ethereal glow, it's a stone of new beginnings, deeply connected to the moon and intuition. It's especially beneficial for those seeking a fresh start in love or wishing to deepen emotional connections. Green aventurine, known as the stone of opportunity. Green aventurine is excellent for those seeking new love. It's believed to be one of the luckiest crystals, helping to release old patterns, habits, and disappointments so new growth can take place. Rhodonite. The stone is particularly effective in healing emotional wounds from the past. Rhodonite nurtures love and encourages the brotherhood of humanity. It assists in recognizing and fulfilling your needs in relationship, promoting balance and a sense of well-being. Garnet. Garnet is known for revitalizing, purifying, and balancing energies. It inspires love and devotion and alleviating emotional disharmony. This deep red stone is also great for enhancing love's self-confidence, which is a key aspect of attracting love. So from these perspectives, celebrating Valentine's Day spiritually involves practices such as meditation, journaling, breathwork, prayer aimed at expanding heart central awareness. Rather than focusing on external relationships, individuals may use this day to heal past wounds, release resentment, and cultivate inner peace. And mentioned before, metta. In Buddhism, sending goodwill to themselves, loved ones, strangers, and even enemies an exercise rooted in Buddhist tradition that aligns perfectly with the higher ideas of Valentine's spirit. By returning to the heart, not as a symbol on a card, but as a living center of courage and empathy, we reclaim Valentine's Day as a legitimate spiritual observance. It becomes less about being in love and more about being loved, generous, forgiving, resilient, and ever expanding. So now I understand Valentine's Day has nothing to do with the person, but more with the spirituality behind it. At its core, spiritual meaning of Valentine's is about recognizing the power of love and its transformative forces in our lives. Whether we are in a romantic relationship or not, we all have a capacity to cultivate love in our lives and connect with others in meaningful ways. It's all about embracing love in all forms, sharing it with yourself and others by acknowledging the power of love in our lives. We can tap into its transformative energy and bring about positive changes in our relationships and overall well-being. As we love together, we spread the good in the world and in ourselves. We can tap into the power of love to bring about positive change in our relationships and in the world around us. This might involve practice such as cultivating a great sense of compassion, empathy, or focusing on acts of service and kindness towards another. Ultimately, the spiritual meaning of Valentine's Day offers a deeper, more meaningful understanding of love and relationships. By honoring the power of love as transformative, I think I said this all. We can cultivate greater joy, connection, and well-being in our lives, in our relationships, and bring about positive change in the world around us. As we keep our vibrations high, we are closer to God. So let's keep our vibrations high together. Thank you.